Hey guys, Captain Kyle here. Now before a new doctor takes over the role this Christmas, I wanted to do this special video. Now this video is going to cover all the toy versions of the doctor's signature prop, the sonic screwdriver. Now these are all the ones from Underground Toys, and not only am I going to go over all the sonic devices, but we'll have a couple special screwdrivers right at the end. Be right back. Welcome to this showcase, discussion, review, kind of exposition of the doctor's signature tool, the sonic screwdriver. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm just going to cover the ones from Underground Toys. Now, there's plenty of sonic screwdrivers out there that are universal remotes, that are flashlights, that are actually screwdrivers. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to cover the toy versions, the ones that you can actually use for your cosplay. But what's nice about these toy screwdrivers is that they're not very expensive, and if you bring them to a con and something happens, they're pretty easy to replace. And you won't be heartbroken or unable to control your TV. And again, at the end, I'll be talking about two special screwdrivers from the show, but let's get started. So the first doctor did not actually have a sonic screwdriver, though he is credited for inventing it. The second doctor did, though, so let's look at his. Oh wait, we can't. They never made a toy version of the second doctor's sonic screwdriver. However, what it is actually a pen light. So if you get an old-fashioned silver pen light, you can use that, and if you're handy, maybe add some sound effects. Or just make them with your mouth. However, the third doctor did have a toy made of his sonic screwdriver, so let's take a look at that. So this is the third doctor sonic. It has a little caution tape, I guess, to be careful with it. And this is how you activate it. Just pull it back. And it actually has multiple noises. Kind of a interesting effect. Now, the fourth doctor's sonic screwdriver didn't really change in design. It actually looks virtually identical. This one only has two tones, but again, very similar in design, a little simpler, a little less colorful, a little more tool-like. Again, if you're going to play the fourth doctor, would you find it like the other one? Well, I think you might. But let's move on to what they call the fifth doctor sonic screwdriver. Now this is the one they're calling the fifth doctor sonic screwdriver. Virtually identical except for a little changing color along the top and a little white band here. And the reason why I say they're calling it the fifth doctor's, it's actually another version of the fourth doctor's. The fifth doctor's sonic, this sonic, was destroyed very early on after his regeneration, so he wasn't actually using a sonic. He went pretty much hands-free. He liked paper clips and chewing gum and MacGyvering things. You can use this or the actual fourth one toy as the fourth doctor if you'd like. Now the sixth doctor didn't use a sonic screwdriver. He did have something called a sonic lance, which I have not found a toy version of. If there's one out there, please let me know about it, because I'd like to complete my collection. The seventh doctor did have a sonic screwdriver, which also carried over into the eighth, and it's what they call the eighth doctor sonic screwdriver, which looks just very similar to the other ones. This again was used by Sylvester McCoy's doctor and Paul McGann's. However, it didn't play a huge role in either of their incarnations. Though this actually has a button here which activates the sound. I did use this with my eighth doctor. Now I'm going to go a little bit out of order for the release of these sonic screwdrivers, but not out of order of the actual doctors. Because this one is the War Doctors, or the other doctors, or that doctor who didn't like to be called the doctor, the late great John Hertz. And this one is the first one, as far as the doctors are concerned, that actually had light, though not for us. And you just pull it back. It does have multiple tones, just like the earlier ones. It's actually very similar in design to the fourth doctors and a lot of the earlier ones, only the top has been changed to have a light bulb. it's a nice design, little red on the bottom, and that is what is used by War Doctor cosplayers. Now, this is the only screwdriver that the Doctor actually uses that has a red light. Is that for war? For blood? For the Sith? Who knows? Just a choice. So this is the 9th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. Virtually identical to the 10th Doctor's because they pretty much use the same one. It does have the multiple noises. You can extend it, push it back and forth. And this has a blue tinge, and this is the one that they sell as the 9th Doctor. While the 9th Doctor was running around with his sonic screwdriver, there was another sonic device, which I do want to bring your attention to. There is no toy for it, but it is Jack's Sonic Blaster. Ooh. There are kits. There are resin kits that you can paint. You can buy these pre-made, and you can play Captain Jack Harkness if you'd like. This is not from Underground Toys, but I did want to mention it because it is a sonic device. Now I'm going to leave this out because I want to bring out the 10th Doctor's to show you the very subtle differences. This is more gray than blue. Again, extends. This screwdriver, unlike the 9th, which has the multiple tones, only has the one tone. Maybe later on, this was an earlier version of the 10th Doctor's that I purchased. Maybe later on they changed it up and they added the additional sounds. It really depends on what batch they made. So there may be other 10ths that have multiple sounds. Mine's not one of them. But look, a pen. And you can write with this. They actually come with one that has invisible ink that you can use the sonic to reveal the text. Now there is another version of the 10th Doctor's screwdriver. This is the 50th anniversary version. A little more colorful, a little more yellow. And interestingly enough, this has all the different sounds, which is why I think possibly the 10th Doctor later versions that are gray might have the additional sounds. Now, what's interesting is I see a lot of charts online talking about the 9th Doctors, and actually the 9th Doctor in a lot of the pictures and depictions looks a little bit more like this. I'm not sure. I haven't really noticed because usually he's holding it like this. You can't really tell very easily. But you can use this. You know, really, if you have any of these screwdrivers and you are cosplaying 9 or 10, no one's going to call you out on it. So you don't have to be like me and get them all. But wait, there's more. This is a mini version of the 10th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. It does not make any noise. It just lights up. And it comes with the vortex manipulator that Captain Jack Harkness wore. It's a comes with a toy version of that. And I happen to have it because I bought a vortex manipulator. I wouldn't recommend running out and using this for your own 10th Doctor unless you have no other choice or you have very small hands. Before we move on to 11, there's a couple other sonic devices that I want to talk about. One is another sonic screwdriver, but not used by the Doctor. It's actually River Song's sonic screwdriver. And it's a very cool looking, almost steampunk type looking screwdriver. The control is here on the edge. And what's interesting is it has this little panel here that you can pop off. And if you press the button in here, you can change the light from blue to red and back again. So this is the only sonic screwdriver other than the War Doctor's that has the red coloration. Also, what's neat underneath this panel, which I imagine a lot of people lose this because it just comes off and very easy to lose, so try to be careful, is if you recall the particular episode, Silence in the Library and so on, if you hold it down, it actually has the memory imprint lights here, and then it flickers out, and then it just disappears. Now, it does not count down, unfortunately, like the one on the episode, but it's still a very neat extra effect. I might have gone out of order with this one because it was made by the 12th. We know that, given to River, but the 10th Doctor is the one who came across River and met her. But again, very cool sonic screwdriver, great for River cosplayers, and it has that neat additional function. Now, there's another sonic device that was used in certain episodes with the 10th Doctor, the Sonic Pen. Now, the Sonic Pen has a little switch here on the side, only has one tone, but this was used in the Adipose episode by Ms. Foster, I believe, and it has pretty much all the same capabilities of the 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver. So this is a very cool extra piece, though when you purchase it with a 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver. So if you already bought a 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver, that kind of stinks, and really, who is going to buy another 10th Doctor sonic screwdriver just to get a pen? I would, yeah, they got me. But the Sonic Pen is very cool, and it's actually a pen. You can write with it. Oh, getting back to the mini one, there's another mini one flashlight that comes with apparently some journal. And again, if you're into getting all the sonic screwdrivers and you want to get that one, you have to get the journal too. And they're not going to get me. No, never. It just didn't come in time for this review. So let's move on to the 11th Doctor. Now, his was a very interesting change from the previous ones. It had these claws that you press and it pushed out. It is green. Now, it does have an interesting gimmick. You press it once, that's what it's like. You press it twice, different tone. Press it 3 times. A different tone, I'm not sure even what that is. And if you press it 4 times, it's kind of like the sonic screwdriver is malfunctioning or having trouble. So it's a very cool version. Some of the problems that people have had is because it does have the spring-loaded action that some people have experienced these breaking. It's one of the more fragile of the sonic screwdrivers. It also, when you extend it, you can't use this button anymore to activate it. That's why it has a button on the bottom. And if you press it, you have the same functionality with that button. Though I did find that if you're holding it and you pull back a little bit, you can get the sound. So you're not holding it actually by the end, you have to actually pull back just a little bit and it actually hits the trigger and causes a sound. The problem with this is it has the cap on the bottom. This has a tendency to get loose. It's not exactly high quality. So you could possibly use some wax or something to make that a little stiffer if you find that it's flopping open way too much. Or you could just get the 12th Doctor sonic screwdriver. The first 12th Doctor sonic screwdriver looks almost identical. However, it does not have the cap. It does extend, but the button, well, it's not really a button. It's got a little pressure thing. If you press down on here, I can't really make it do the other sounds. I don't know that it has the other sounds, but it does have at least 2 tones, and you don't have to worry about pressing the bottom because it actually won't work. So you just kind of, it's a pressure switch underneath, kind of sensing that your finger's there, and it does extend and work both ways. It is a nice version, whether you're 11 or 12, so if you waited before getting the 12th one and didn't get the 11th one and you want to cosplay 11, you can use this one too. If you have an 11 and you want to cosplay 12 using the screwdriver, you can just still use the 11th. It's not that much of a difference, so save you some money. But then, of course, the 12th Doctor went hands-free and had sunglasses, and if you can get similar sunglasses, maybe an app on your phone, you could actually make the noise, and you could pretend that you have sonic sunglasses. And then, though, he did go back to an actual handheld sonic screwdriver. This one, very cool. What I like about it, you pull in one direction, and it goes one color. You pull in the other direction, it goes in another. If you press forward twice, it does this interesting glowy effect. Pull back twice, it does this little circle effect. I don't think 3 does anything special, but it does have 4 different tones and 2 different colors. And it's a very cool looking sonic screwdriver. Looks more futuristic than some of the others. A very cool prop, has some great functionality, and definitely distinctive from the 11th. So, cool. But just because we've gone through all the Doctor's versions of the sonic screwdrivers doesn't mean we're done with sonic screwdrivers, because there are some more. Actually, there's one that is called the Trans-Temporal Sonic Screwdriver. Apparently some weird backstory where this was created when the TARDIS was in a Victorian era and it decided to make a little bit more steampunkish. It has a lot of steampunkish style designs. It does have 2 tones, and it's a very interesting sonic screwdriver. If you're going to be inventing your own Doctor, then you could certainly use this for your own special Doctor. Speaking of making your own, there is the Build Your Own Sonic Screwdriver set. And it does have the power unit. Only really 2 different tones in it. And you can interchange parts, you can remove parts, and it actually interfaces with the trans-temporal as well, because you can remove parts from here, switch the parts around, and create variations on your sonic screwdriver. They do say you can make like over 80 different versions of this. I don't think we have that kind of time, but I will show you a couple. So it's a big mess, and you can make all kinds of screwdrivers and invent your own thing, and you can even assemble them in such a way that without the guts, so you can save time when you're doing a video. Who's got this kind of time? So that's all the sonic screwdrivers, but as I did promise at the beginning, there are 2 more screwdrivers that I'd like to go over. One of which you may have suspected is the Master's laser screwdriver. Right here it does extend. It has a couple different kinds of sounds. If you press just a little bit, it makes a little bit of like a blasting noise. If you hold down, it's burning or making someone really, really old. It does push in and out, so it's pretty cool. You can use this and vote Saxon if you'd like. And the last screwdriver is actually a screwdriver. Well, it's kind of sonic. Well, it makes a noise. This is the one I use for my Jackson Lake costume. Jackson Lake, of course, thought he was the Doctor, simply the Doctor, the one, the only, and the best. And you can use any number of old wooden screwdrivers with a wooden handle. His apparently was a flathead, so I don't actually have one, but if you go to different thrift shops and such, you can get a screwdriver. And I do have to say, when I was dressed as the next Doctor and saw David Morrissey and pulled this out, he cracked up. So these are all the screwdrivers that are currently out as toy versions. I didn't realize how many I had. I would love to see a second Doctor screwdriver, though I may just find a pen light one of these days. And who knows what the new Doctor will bring about, what kind of screwdriver, but these are all great props, fun, easy to use, and easy to replace in case something happens at a con. If you are interested in getting one of these or more than one of these for your own collection and your own cosplay, there are links down in the description. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to see you on the con floor, and as always, have fun and cosplay on.